They leave and then they walk up to the fantasy suite and it's literally in a trailer park. Like they are literally about to have their fantasy suite in 8 Mile. Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri and welcome back to DimitriTube. Bachelorette night 12. We are almost to the end, y'all. Let's talk about it. Now, I know this video is coming as a surprise to many of you. I know I said I was just gonna do one big review on Wednesday, but I changed my mind. So I changed my mind because having 2 videos is just better for the YouTube algorithm, and work is kind of slow this week, so I actually have time to make 2 videos. And lastly, we are down to the wire, y'all. I just felt like 2 reviews was more appropriate. So I'm gonna give you all 2 reviews this week, and as always, if you're enjoying them, please pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm trying to grow my channel and it really helps me out. So let's get started and dive into the episode. Now, this episode is real exciting because it's fantasy suites. So if you're not familiar with fantasy suites, the contestants, if they choose, can spend one whole night together. No cameras, no microphones, and all bets are off. Also, one last note about these fantasy suites. So these fantasy suites are literally back to back. Like if I was Tayshia, I would have to take an Adderall. Literally for 3 days straight, you have all day dates and then overnights with the guys if you choose to do that. Now, if you opt for the fantasy suite, this is really your chance to vet these guys. The cameras are off. You can ask these guys whatever you want and there's no filter because you're not worried about looking dumb or sounding dumb or asking anything too personal because the camera's on. Tayshia has another brunch with Jojo, and yet again, we have another tray of uneaten pastries. Now, normally we do not get any useful information from these brunch dates, but Jojo actually gave some useful advice on this one. Jojo tells Tayshia that during the fantasy suites, when the cameras are off, use that time to talk with the guys and try to figure out how you're going to build a life together after the show is over. And that was actually very good and valid advice. I agree with Jojo on this one. Falling in love in a bubble where you have no communication with the outside world, like, that's the easy part. The hard part is leaving this bubble, going back to the real world with all these distractions, gaining this social media fame, and then on top of that, trying to build a life together. Like, to me, that's the hard part. Okay, so now we're going into the first one-on-one date with Ivan and Tayshia. For this date, they break the world record of the longest, coldest kiss. So basically, Ivan and Tayshia get into an ice bath and they just have to kiss for over 5 minutes. Now, initially, I thought this date was crazy, but after I finished watching it, this was a cute date aside from the Chris Harrison and Pauly commentary. Going on a date where you have to work together and break a world record, like, I just thought that was a really cool idea. And Ivan and Tayshia are troopers. They were in there for like 6.5 minutes. To be honest, I would have tapped out after like 30 seconds. Like, I can't even take a cold shower, let alone an ice bath for that long. After that, we go to the dinner portion of the date, and Ivan tells Tayshia that he's falling in love with her, and Tayshia says she's falling in love with him too. Now, I've been telling you all in my previous reviews that I have not seen the chemistry between these two all season, and I still don't see it. After Ivan confesses his love, if you look at Tayshia's reaction, it was very lackluster. Anywho, after that, Tayshia ends up giving Ivan the key to the fantasy suite. They leave and then they walk up to the fantasy suite and it's literally in a trailer park. Like they are literally about to have their fantasy suite in 8 Mile. Now we cut to the next morning and Ivan is giving a confessional and Ivan says that Tayshia and him stayed up all night talking. And y'all, I truly believe that. Like, I don't think they Like, if it were me, out of principle, I would not have smashed in this trailer park. Like, it's not even romantic. And did y'all see the sheets on the bed? Like, they looked itchy. Like, they didn't even look comfortable. Like, if you really love Tayshia, I feel like you would just say, let's wait until we find a time where it can be more special. Also, Tayshia is bougie, and she's mentioned this before. Like, I really don't even think Tayshia would be down to bang in this trailer park. So after Ivan and Tayshia has breakfast, he returns back to the house with the rest of the guys, and Brendan starts asking him a few questions about what happened the previous night. Now, Brendan, that was just a bad move. To me, this is just one of those scenarios where ignorance is bliss. Like, you don't need to ask what happened. But apparently they started doing this 2 seasons ago during Peter's season. Like, during Fantasy Suites, they started forcing the contestants to be together. I really don't remember if they did this during Hannah B's and Colton's season. Okay, so I do not think the producers should do this. Like, it is real messy, but the producers clearly do this to force drama. But from what I've seen so far between this season and Peter's season, it has not caused any drama. All it causes is just more awkwardness. But in the producer's defense, I will say I understand why they do it. So a 2-hour episode is a very large time block to fill, and typically at this point in the season, they really aren't doing much, and they've gotten rid of all the cast members that are just fighting for airtime. So it can be tough for the producers to figure out what to put into the show. And let's be real, if this show didn't have a lot of drama, we wouldn't watch it. Okay, now we're going into a one-on-one with Zac C. So for this date, they paint each other and then they act as brushes for the canvas, and they just get to paint each other and paint this canvas with their bodies. So hands down, no contest, Zac C had the best date, but I will say this date was very borderline, not family friendly. Like, they were rolling around in paint in their underwear. ABC, clean it up. So after that, we go into the dinner portion of the date, and yep, that is the outfit of the episode. So Tayshia's wearing this peach, really cute, like, club dress. And initially I thought her bra was showing, but I think that's just part of the dress. And it's like sparkly. It's really cute. I will say I was not absolutely gagging over this dress, but it is my favorite outfit of the episode. And the necklace she wore with the dress was really pretty. So there really was no new information on this date. Zac told Tayshia again that he loved her, and then he reiterated the fact that he does in fact want kids. But I do have to mention that when Zac told Tayshia that he loves her, Tayshia's response was way more ecstatic than when Ivan had told her the same thing. Which, again, this is nothing new. We've been seeing this all season. Zac and Tayshia have more chemistry than Ivan and Tayshia. So then after that, Zac and Tayshia go to the Fantasy Suites, and they're in an actual suite this time, and it's way nicer than that trailer park Ivan and Tayshia got. Now, I think Zac and Tayshia had a fantastic night. Zac returns to the house with the rest of the guys, and he has a huge smile on his face, and Ivan and Brendan look like they're about to cry. Now we get to a one-on-one with Brendan and Tayshia. For Tayshia and Brendan's date, they go try on jewelry with Neil Lane. Now, I think Tayshia was very purposeful in picking this specific date for Brendan. Because if you remember, after the lie detector date, Brendan told Tayshia that he's not sure if he's ready for a proposal. So I think she did this on purpose to see how he feels now. And I don't know if you all caught this, but when they were trying on the jewelry, Tayshia says,
"A girl can never have too many diamonds."
And y'all, that just sounded so material. During this date, as Tayshia is trying on jewelry, the music changes, the mood changes, and Brendan's overall demeanor changes. And you could tell he's getting cold feet about the whole situation now. So we go to the dinner portion of the date, and Tayshia is wearing this silver dress. Do y'all like this dress? I do not like it. The material looks cheap, and then there's very long fringe at the bottom. Like, it's not cute. So back to the dinner date, Brendan tells Tayshia that he's not ready and he's still not over his divorce. Brendan says, "There's a big part of me that's still broken. There's a big part of me that still needs time to heal. There's a big part of me that needs time to grow, because I still think there are pieces of myself I still need to pick up. And all I want is to give you my whole heart. But as I sit here today, my heart isn't whole. And it really breaks my heart, because you deserve a man who's complete, and you deserve a man who's healed from his past. And unfortunately, I'm not that man." And Tayshia handles this very well. She says that at a younger age, she would have been mad, but she understands. She's like, if you're not ready, I can't push you to be ready. Now, I really did not like Brendan at this point. Now, I'm sure I may get a lot of heat for my opinion of Brendan, but that is just my opinion, and we can have different opinions. That's okay. Now, I realize life is a journey, and Brendan had to go through this journey to realize what he wants. Like, he needed time to realize he's not ready to move on, and he's not completely over his divorce. Brendan applied to be on this show. He got through the casting process. He quarantined. This is the second Bachelorette he's experienced, and Claire said she was looking for a husband. Tayshia said she's looking for a husband. Chris Harrison mentioned multiple times that the Bachelorette is looking for a husband. And then he goes through the process, makes it all the way to top 3, and then when he's being shown rings, he's like, oh wait, I'm not ready for this. Brendan had plenty of time to sit and think about this, because when you're on this show, you really don't have anything to do. There's no entertainment, there's no TV, no books, no phones. Like, you're literally just sitting there waiting all day for a date. So you have plenty of time to think. And I get it, everyone has their own journey, everyone processes things differently, but this just really made me feel like he came on the show just to advance his modeling career. And to me, the worst part about it is now you have Tayshia second guessing herself. Now you're leaving Tayshia wondering if this was even real to begin with. Y'all, this really just ruined Brendan's image for me. I will say though, I'm glad Brendan told Tayshia this before the final rose, but we can't ignore the amount of time he wasted. Also, in general, this is just a major problem of the show. A lot of people go on there just to get social media fame. They're not serious about finding love. After that, Tayshia sends Brendan home and he doesn't even cry in the Uber XL. Now, I know the internet loves Brendan and he's one of the fan favorites this season, but what he did was kind of janky. Please let me know below in the comments what you think of Brendan after this episode. And then the next day, Tayshia meets up with Rachel to have a chat. Rachel is the lead of The Bachelorette from season 13. Now, the conversation they had was pretty pointless. The only thing they were doing was just setting the stage for Ben to return. Okay, so after her chat, now Tayshia is preparing for the rose ceremony. Let's talk about this dress real quick. So this is a very sexy dress. I did not give it outfit of the episode though, because I don't like the color. It's like that iPhone mountain green color, but I feel like it's a great color for an iPhone, but for a dress, like, not so much. So Tayshia is interrupted with a knock at the door, and it's Ben. And he tells her that he's in love with her and that he should have said that earlier when he had the chance. Now, I am so over Ben. I want him to go home. And what's worse about it is that Tayshia is already second guessing herself because of what happened previously with Brendan. So I do not think that Tayshia should bring back Ben. Tayshia already eliminated him. Like, girl, you had a gut feeling that this guy was not the right guy for you, and I really think you just need to stick with that gut feeling because it's probably right. Also, I've mentioned this on previous reviews. I do not like when a lead backtracks on decisions they've made. It looks flighty and it looks like you're not an effective decision maker. And this is not just for The Bachelorette. Like, this is just life advice in general. If you make a decision, stick with it. Do not look back. Believe in your intuition and believe that your gut decision was right. Like, in life, that'll just help you. And that is the end of the episode and all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this review, please pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm really happy I decided to split this into 2 different reviews, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.